Audio Missile Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell your friends.
All right, it was Christmas, and someone was hungry, and he was craving shitty food, so he broke into Taco Bell.
Through the drive-through window.
So they left it open, or what?
No, but that's the most vulnerable window, I guess, in the whole thing, if you think about it.
Yeah, little tiny window.
It's open and closes,
So he fucking crowbarred it, or
somehow he got in. He cooked himself a meal with the fryers. He turned on the fryers.
So he was he must have worked in the fast food place before,
I
right?
don't know.
He knew how to operate all the equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to operate the equipment unless you worked there before, right?
And when he was done...
I'm not saying that Taco Bell,
No.
He probably worked at a fast food place in the past.
Sure, well, he had some kind of experience, because when he was done, he laid down and took a nap. Woke up.
Okay, first question.
Wait, he took some laptops and he bounced.
Okay.
Now ask the question.
Why were there any laptops at the fucking Taco Bell? And second, don't they have a fucking alarm?
They should have had an alarm.
That's the question. No, they can have laptops and do accounting or whatever they got to do in there.
Like one, but
no,
laptops mean there was a couple of laptops.
Here's the thing. It was the security system was lax on Christmas for some reason. So they've circulated the image and the local news there, and people are saying, hey, help us find this guy, because it looks bad to him.
This guy's probably homeless. They're going to do him a favor by putting him in jail. Free food and everything.
He couldn't get in the safe. You know.
Did he try?
To get in the safe?
You can't get in that safe. One of those fast food safes. But he saw a little computer or laptop and some gadgets. And
but he was able to...
charger.
He was able to eat a Mexican pizza and fuck a chalupa.
Right, no. That's what surprised him, is that he took the time to fire up the fryers.
Now, question is, did they get rid of all the food? Because he could have masturbated in there and done all kinds of nasty shit.
You're right.
So, did they still sell that same food the next day?
You're right, because as a health hazard, the law for food handling, all that food's contaminated.
Of course. I'm not
even if it's sealed, what if it's sealed?
I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
That guy could have fucking taken a shit in the fucking freezer.
No, but they see him on the cameras. They see him.
I want that. What if I want that shit pressure washed?
Taco Bell's gonna tell you somebody took a shit in their freezer.
What about the spot where he took a nap? They're gonna hose it down?
Everything.
Clorox that whole
Clorox it?
We'll let you know, because they're still looking for him.
If you were homeless, what fast food place or restaurant would you break into to cook a meal? Hey, this is Felipe. Stay tuned. Audio Missile Podcast will be right back. I used to be with a girlfriend who used to love me a lot, but her family hated my guts. And she used to take me around to Christmas or Thanksgiving, and it was very uncomfortable because I knew everybody hated my guts and they weren't hiding it. So what's in the news about hateful in-laws?
I didn't know you were going to open it up that way, my boy. But they're calling it the royal split. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex, which is Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Yep.
What they're calling it, they want to divorce from the firm, and the firm meaning the royal family. They don't want to do the royal duties, and they want to separate. You know something about the royal family, Shannon?
Yeah, they want to have their own business. They have their own website. They've released a statement. And there's a meme. It shows Yoko Ono, and it says, I broke up the Beatles. And it shows Meghan Markle, and it says, hold my beer.
Well, they treat her like... I mean, they don't really like her, and it's known that they don't like her, so they probably got tired of their bullshit. They didn't treat Princess Diana too well.
Right. Well, that's one of the main reasons. I heard that Prince Harry's like, hey, my mom died over this stuff. The paparazzi,
they didn't like
her not respecting the mother. So he's like, look, I don't want that from my new family. And they've never liked her from the beginning. So guess what? Since they've decided to do this split, she's got a deal from Disney.
For a movie or for a ride?
No, she's doing a voiceover for what's it, Elephant Without Borders, and it's for saving elephants. Oh. And so she's lending herself to some animation stuff and voiceovers for Disney. She got a deal, and so they have income coming in. They're worth money, but it's been going on for a while. It started with Princess Diana.
Are they gonna cut his royal trust fund?
That's why it's not a.
Well, he has his own because Diana left it to him because he's not in line for the same thing as Prince William. Plus, they have their own foundation and they're carrying on the work of Princess Diana, which is what they want to do, and it's important to Harry because it's part of his inheritance from her.
All right, okay.
Which is not important to the Queen.
Well,
so,
I don't know. I thought she was a rebel and she was different, and they made this movie where they showed that she was like different than everybody from the royal family.
Sure.
But now she's like everybody else, hating on
old
people.
and stuffy.
I don't like that young actress.
Right. Well, you know she's half black.
So what? This is like 2020.
Only
the Trump family cares about stuff like that.
Well, you know, we'll keep you updated because they're having a meeting. So she called a meeting with all the royal sons together with Prince Harry, Prince William, what's the father's name?
Prince Charles.
Prince Charles. Yeah, they're all there.
And his wife, Camilla.
And Camilla, yeah.
And because the Queen did not want them to release the statement.
Yeah, she said she was mad that they went to the public before because they put it on a tweet saying, "Hey, we're going to divorce the firm."
But we're out.
Yeah, so no, they're going to have a meeting with the Queen, and guess what? On speakerphone on Skype is going to be Meghan Markle from Canada is going to call in.
Okay, why Canada? Isn't she American? Why are they in Canada? Is it because it's still part of England?
Yeah,
or what the hell is going on?
It's a, what do you call it, a province?
Mm-hmm.
A providence?
Province?
A province?
Is that a colony? Canada's a colony, you know?
The Queen is on Canadian money.
Yeah.
And on top of the king.
Right. So we'll keep you updated because it's over the inheritance. Because she said, well, if you don't want to do your royal duties, then you don't get to inherit the money, which is, they say, you know, like the Queen is worth $500 million, 520 million around. But the total of all the royals and their holdings are in the billions. And he's like, well, if you don't want to be in the club, you don't want to be in the club.
Well, sometimes freedom and being comfortable is more important than a lot of money. I mean, that money comes with a lot of attachments.
But he has a lifestyle to which he's accustomed, and it'll run out quick. He's gonna have to tighten up a lot.
I see him moving to Los Angeles. She's gonna be acting, and he'll be in a TV show or a movie pretty soon too.
Well, folks, we'll see what happens, and we'll keep you updated.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
Okay. Just when you thought Festivus was the most ridiculous holiday ever, there comes a new holiday right from Japan, the city that brings you bukkake.
Oh, my boy. Well, you know, it's not new. It's actually pretty old. 1974. And it's not bukkake, but it's Kentucky.
It's Kentucky.
Yeah. Well, the actual technical term is Kurisomasu wa Kentucky, which means Christmas in Kentucky.
Wow. So they go to Kentucky for Christmas?
No. Every December 30th in Japan, they have what's called Chicken Thanksgiving, and it's a memorial for all the chickens that were eaten and cooked that year in Japan. And they and also for the future chickens that will be sacrificed the next year for KFC. And they put little statues of Colonel Sanders.
That's kind of cool.
Every year, December 30th.
Did you know that each Kentucky Fried Chicken in Japan, they fly in dirt from Kentucky itself, so they can build it on Kentucky soil?
No. Well, you know, no puns aside, 30% of the sales each year for all the KFCs is from that thing, the Kentucky promotion there that they do. In
so when
Japan.
does it get to America? I mean, America likes to steal people's holidays. They took Cinco de Mayo from us. So what's happening? What's next?
Well, you know, speaking of chickens, it's funny. Did you hear about the Family Feud contestant on Family Feud Canada?
Oh, yeah. It's been going viral.
Oh, my God.
Some dummy, they asked her, what's Popeye's favorite food?
Yeah, it came down to the final question for $10,000. This one last question. Burp. She hits the buzzer. Name Popeye's favorite food?
Is it olive oil? Chicken, right? But everybody knows the cartoon, Popeye eats spinach, you dummy.
Well, not only did she say chicken, she did a dance.
She did a chicken dance.
She did like a chicken dance. She wiggled chicken. And then as she did that, the cameras panned to her family.
And they're like,
holding their heads saying, oh my God, you dumb bitch.
Wow. I heard the dad put a pillowcase over his head and walked out.
No. No, they were graceful enough. They were graceful enough to be nice to her. What'd you say that somebody said I'm blonde or something?
At the end, I think I've seen her mouth like, I'm blonde. She put it in her head.
Oh, right. Well, folks, they lost $10,000. The other team got the $10,000 easily because we know the answer is
But
spinach.
they got $1 million worth of ridicule.
Oh.
Hey, she went viral.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments below.
Hola, están escuchando el misil de audio. Well, we normally joke around and make fun of stuff, but today we're going to talk about something serious, suicide. 2 nights ago, one of my friends, Dennis Serrano, committed suicide, and maybe 3 years ago, my friend Noel Huerta committed suicide, and it's a big problem in America. People, and they weren't even military. A lot of military people commit suicide. Maybe 20
students. Remember, you were talking about students.
USC students were committing suicide. So there's a lot of pressure in our country, and a lot of people are killing themselves. So if you're not feeling too well, reach out to somebody. And there's also places you can reach out to. Tell us about that, Cordell.
Well, right now it's trending on Twitter, Instagram, and it's the hashtag How I Fight Depression. And people are sharing their stories online and offering help to each other. It's like an online support group. You know, all of a sudden that you're in the middle of nowhere, but you got the internet, and you can put your story or your.
So how do I reach the group? So I go to Instagram and I'll put what?
You can share your stories if you're already on Instagram. Or
what about
Twitter.
if I don't have a story? I just want to talk to somebody.
In your local area, you have a suicide hotline. Just in our comments, you can message us. And so we just want to say to people, if you think there's too much, you can just reach out. I don't know you, but hey, I'm here to offer support to anybody.
Yeah, if you're not feeling too well, there's people out there that are willing to listen to you and have a beer with you and hear your conversation, have a little conversation with you and talk about your problems. We all have problems. We all feel low. So if you're not feeling too well, make sure you talk to somebody. Don't take yourself out.
You are listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
Well, I grew up in Hollywood, and Hollywood, when I was growing up, wasn't the way it was now. It's like it was pimps and hookers and crackheads and heroin addicts and all kinds of shit. And one thing that I learned from growing up in Hollywood was you can't even leave your bike outside the store for 30 seconds before somebody jumps on it and takes off with it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But
no, I had my bike stolen with the chain on it. They left the chain at Starbucks, Hollywood Boulevard in broad daylight.
So every once in a while we hear a story that completely blows my mind because I'm like, what? Who does this and how does it work? There's a honor system going on. What's going on, Cordell?
Well, they call it the Honor System Garage. This is happening in Ellsworth, Maine. Her name is Brenda Ledesma, and she opened up the Honor System Garage in the back of her house, in her garage. And she makes gourmet cheesecakes.
All right, amazing.
And people wait in line to get them, and here's the twist. You pay for it with the honor system.
That's crazy.
It's 24/7. There's a refrigerator in the backyard right there.
Okay, so during business hours, she charges you, but when she closes...
No. Even during business hours.
Okay, so it's all honor.
Honor system. And if you don't have the money, they have a bulletin board. You can write out an IOU, you put it up on the wall, and it's up to you if you want to pay for it. And people say, well, hey, why would... She's like, no, this is what I want to do. And she offers these beautiful cheesecakes.
So is she turning a profit?
She's turning enough to break even, and it's going viral now. People are here. We're hearing about it, and we're not in Maine. We're in California. We're hearing about this lady, with the fabulous cheesecakes that are for free. It's up to you to pay.
What's amazing is the story that she trusts people, but
the honor system. Yeah. That's why she called it. No, I'm going to name it the Honor System Garage.
Well, she must be in a little small ass town because if I did that in Hollywood, I'd go bankrupt in a few weeks.
Not the first night.
There would be like 1,000 IOUs on my board and not $1 in my cash register.
Hey, remember to smash up the likes and hit the subscribe button below. You are now listening to the Audio Missile Podcast.
If you believe in brotherly love and sharing and also weddings, we have a story for you.
Oh, this is an interesting one from Fujian province in China. A wedding. The bride and the groom, they're walking down the aisle there, playing the music, and before that, you play the montage.
On the screen.
Yeah, how they met, and it shows them.
On their babies and
everything.
when they went to school.
Yeah. And so instead, when it started playing, it showed the bride having sex with the groom's brother.
Oh,
And
fuck.
she's like, ah! She freaks out. She throws the bouquet at him. Turn it off! Turn it off! So they eventually turn it off. And he goes, you thought I didn't know what you were doing?
Wow.
You fucking
Fucking
dumb
my brother?
Is that legal in China?
You fucking dumb.
I thought China was like very different than America.
No.
They were
No.
like they had more
No.
morals.
Oh my God.
They don't, huh?
Shit.
You know, so
But there's a twist.
yeah, there's a twist to the story.
All right, tell us the twist.
You know, so a famous blogger named Jiang says the hubby was beating her up, and she only turned to the brother because he was a mean guy. You know,
She had a black guy and he
Blah,
had a
blah,
big
blah.
penis.
Yeah,
And one thing led to
something.
another.
You know, but upon more research, other people are saying, here's what's happening. It turns out that the groom was a marketing student at a college, and he might have been working with the live streaming service because at the bottom of the sex video, it's imprinted with the streaming service's name.
Okay, so this was planned.
It might have been a setup.
It was staged.
It might have been staged.
Could have been staged.
That's smart though. That's how you get dummies to go there.
Yeah, and everyone went to that site that premiered.
No, but not everyone is clever like us and does it
Right.
organically.
Right. Well, they premiered that video at their site. It got all the hits, and maybe that was enough just to get them into the game.
I guess
Maybe,
so.
hopefully,
Well,
you know. So we'll keep you updated, folks.
tell 'em good
you
luck.
know, and let us know if you see any good videos out there.
and let us know if your girlfriend fucked your brother.
Stay tuned. The Audio Missile Podcast will be right back.
Okay, I always tell people technology is not your
Not your
friend.
friend.
Okay, if your shit can get into the internet, like your refrigerator or your watch or anything, even your vibrator, someone can hack into that shit and make your vibrator go and make you have an orgasm quicker than you wanted to.
Well, do you remember the hashtag Free Dorothy? Where that girl?
Is that something with the Wizard of Oz?
No, it was a young girl. The mom took away her electronics.
Her vibrator.
No, not her vibrator. Took away her cell phone and her computer because she was going on too much social media. So she went to her smart refrigerator.
Her fridge.
And she texted to her friends on Twitter, and it went viral.
But how did she type?
Well, it has a web
Oh, she used
browser.
the internet from it or what?
Yeah, web browser. But it turns out LG says, you know what? We don't think she really did it from our refrigerator. But upon further investigation, people are saying it is possible.
If you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Well, there's a technology called leapfrogging.
Okay.
You know,
Like
truck
the video
equipment, wash machines, refrigerators, even coffee pots. You know, it serves as a point of entry to all connected devices. And so I'm going to give you a list of some of them that they did an investigation and found out what are the most vulnerable things. First of all, car keys. People can copy your car keys,
And steal your
override
car?
your signal, and just go into your car. You don't even know.
So you have a nice Porsche, somebody could just take it.
Yep, they go into your car keys. That's number 2, like OnStar, remote driving.
Yeah, I could hit the brakes on you when you're driving 90 miles per hour and have
Yeah,
you flip over and kill yourself.
No way.
Well, they did. You might have heard of the Jeep story where they did an experiment, and while it was driving, they turned off the transmission, turned up the heater till it was like 110 degrees.
Wow.
They did a lot of different freaky
Oh, I
things.
already know
The
that
windshield
shit.
wipers were going off, and you know, so it is possible. Number 3 on the list, though, Icarus. You might have heard of Icarus. This is a device that allows you to hack drones. So everyone's so hot and bothered on their new drones.
So I could hack a police drone?
Any kind of drone.
That's awesome.
But, you know, the police obviously were hoping that they got extra software on theirs, protection, encryption. You know, another one is wearables. You might have heard of the Fitbits.
Like the
or
watches and stuff?
Smartwatch.
Yep. Oh, that's easy. As you're walking by, people can go stand up next to you, and a device will copy all your contacts and information into their phone. As long as you're within like a foot or 2 feet of you. And with this other device, it can do it. You know, cameras. We've done these stories about how they hack your camera at home and can
Oh, yeah.
watch you undressing and all this stuff.
Anything they want.
But, you know, here's another one that trips me out. HVAC, which is air conditioners and heating systems. Like, all those 40 million people that got hacked on Target, they got into them through the air conditioning system.
Like all
at
those
Target.
idiots, they have like
Yep.
their fucking, like their speaker out in your house that you could like turn on the lights,
Oh, yeah. Give me the bank account.
Yeah, you're dumb because somebody's hearing you humping your wife.
Oh, my God.
Someone's hearing you.
Our boy here's an engineer, huh? You can hack stuff, what?
You can hack stuff all the time, as long as you're in the network.
What was that? Where do you have to be?
As long as you're part of the network, then you can hack into any system.
And so I can get into the network through a coffee pot. That's what it is, as long as you're in the network. So, Now, check this out.
So my fucking coffee pot will fucking screw my house.
Anything, my boy.
That's why I don't even have Wi-Fi in my house. I'm like in 1970 here.
Right. Hey, you ever been walking down the street and you seen that little booth and a guy, hey, you want to get a government phone or a free phone?
Hey, you want a free phone?
Yeah, you want a free phone?
Free phone.
And sign up for a free phone. Well, it turns out those free phones all have Chinese spyware in them.
Wow.
One of the main ones is called Assurance Wireless. They did a test and they found out every 72 hours it was updating all the data to a Chinese server. And guess who owns Assurance Wireless?
Who?
Virgin Mobile.
But they're not Chinese.
They're trying to sell all that data so they can find out what consumers want.
Yeah, exactly, my boy. They want to
You know what I want? I want to be left alone. Leave me alone.
That's what consumers want.
Hola, están escuchando El Misil de Audio. Okay, when a guy beats up a girl, he goes to jail. But what happens when a girl beats up a guy?
Nothing.
Well, tell us, Cordell.
Well, in this case, he went to jail, but it's going viral because she got fired over it. She lost her job. This is Best Buy, and this was summer. And there's a video that people are seeing online where the shoplifter is running out of the store, and she's a good fighter. She's a Hawaiian.
Okay, so this guy was a shoplifter.
Yeah.
Or was a random guy? Some guy was shoplifting. It wasn't a random guy at the store, right?
Yeah, some crazy dude.
Okay, and she came and she beat him up.
No, she just tried to subdue him, but he was going crazy.
Okay, he was trying to run out of the store or what?
No, and she eventually said, I should have let him go. It'd be better for an item. That's the proper procedure. But her name was Tapasa Sadaraka, Hawaiian lady. Now check this out.
So she fucked this guy up or what?
No, but she was pretty impressive.
She held her ground?
Yeah, she held her ground, and so it took 3 people to subdue the dude. A big old Hawaiian dude. It was, but she was, the fact that she went after him was crazy. Like, she had balls.
She said,
or ballsy.
She must have been on her period. She was like, ah!
Now, check this out. Dana White, the owner of the UFC, the MMA fighting organization, saw the video, posted it. He's flying her out to see the Conor McGregor fight, and he wants to give her a job in the UFC.
Hey,
I don't know, fighting or promoting, whatever, but he was impressed. He said, hey, she got fired and lost her job over that, doing her job.
Get her some training, huh?
She wants her to
get
fight.
her some training, so she might be a bodyguard, my man. He knows. So coming up, we got the Conor McGregor fight versus Cowboy Cerrone. I don't know if you guys.
I think a good fight would be McGregor against her.
Oh, well, folks, let us know what you think, and we'll hit you on the flip side with the results of the fight.
The Audio Missile Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and tell your friends.